What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video. It is Sunday. It is July 28th. We have made it to the last Sunday of July. We're inching our way closer to NFL, but we are back with another video for you guys. What separates us from the other people, if you're new to the channel, we go through every game that is playable, except for this 10:35 a.m. game and then the Sunday Night Baseball game. We go through the pitchers and the batters in those games. Towards the end of the video, we are going to give you the pitches be crazy. So the pitchers that have the best matchups against teams that strike out the most of the top 5 pitchers overall for the day if you're doing sports betting. And at the very end, we have every single batter that has a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through our simulations. We're going to give you those. And I'm going to let you know right now, there's a ton on this list, the initial run with simulations. So stick around for that. If you are new to the channel, help out the channel a lot. Clicking on the ads helps us out. Subscribing, watching the entire video helps us out. Subscribing, going to the website, FantasyTeamAdvisors.com. In the description of this video is the link to today's article, which you can find right here. So if you find this video a little bit long or you need a little bit shorter version, check out the article. It's got about 5 plays at each position that we like, and go check that out. It's our rankings, part of our cheat sheet as well. Also, we have a sponsorship we're going to talk about in this video. That's what we're going to use to dig into each and every game. And also, we have giveaways. 2 giveaways every single day. Like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment to be entered into the contest. If this video gets at least 50 likes, a chance at a free week of FTA+. 100 likes is a free month, 150 likes, a free $200 a year, 200 or more likes on this video, a chance at a $500 lifetime pass. The second way, we're going to have a keyword somewhere in this video. Listen for it, type it in, comment that, have a chance to win. So we are going to go quickly and see who the 2 winners are for yesterday's video. In that video, we had 1,300 views and 127 likes. So we're going to give away 1 monthly pass for the first one, and then a weekly pass for anyone who did the keyword. So let's get going right now. Good luck to everyone, and you can win multiple days. You can win multiple times. Cujo Blue 73. I know you have an account on the website. Email me to let me know you saw it and your username, and we will get you set up. Pretty sure I know the username, but just double check. I got to make sure you're watching this. So, first person, Cujo Blue, congratulations on a free month. Now, he can win a free month yet again. Every single day, you can come back and win. Keyword was not in this comment, so even if this comment comes up again, it does not have the keyword. So the keyword right here. Matthias did not have the keyword, but thank you for the support, love and support. Matthias has been around for a very long time to the channel. There's a lot of people, a lot of these names I notice. There you go. LG5295. The keyword was sleep. So congratulations, LG. Email me, and we will get you set up with your account. I know you have an account on the website. So dfshelp1@gmail.com. And that's how easy it is, guys. Just like the video, be a subscriber, and leave a comment. And also listen for the keyword. So let's just jump into it. This early game right now, we don't know who Tampa Bay is going to be pitching. That's kind of where we're at. Let me preface this whole thing by saying we were dead on yesterday with Jazz. Figured he was going to get traded. The Yankees were a contender, and that's who pulled him. So he got traded before the game. This is what the trade deadline is Tuesday, okay? You're going to see trades go down today. You're going to see trade go down Monday. You're going to see trades go down on Tuesday. So be vigilant. If you do lineups, you've got to be able to look at those lineups all the way up until that game locks, because these players are going to get traded. I think it could be a pretty fast-paced Sunday, if I don't say so myself. So definitely be on the lookout for a lot of players that could get traded. And some of them we're going to talk about today. And hopefully it doesn't happen, but we will talk about that. Sunday is the day of rest, so when you're building your lineups, catchers usually rest on Sundays. So we'll kind of pay attention to that, because you don't want to get screwed over and get a big goose egg in your lineup because player B sat and player A played. So we're kind of looking at that as well. So this first game is way earlier. It's 3 hours early, or 2 hours earlier than what like a normal slate. It's the Roku game of the week, I think. So you got to have Roku to watch it if you're watching the Reds in Tampa Bay. So we're not going to cover that game. So yeah, we're going to cover the main slate, which is 10 games. Then we have an afternoon slate, which is 3. This makes 14, and then the Sunday Night Baseball game makes 15. So that brings us to the first game, San Diego Padres at the Baltimore Orioles. You got Randy Vasquez versus Albert Suarez. So we look into this, okay? Albert Suarez is day-to-day now. When did that come up? Right shin contusion after getting hit by a comeback on Tuesday. Okay, so yeah, we look at this. He should be in there. He did get shelled against Miami. 2 innings, 6 earned runs, took that, and then minus 6.9. He has looked bad his past couple of starts. So on the flip side of that, we have stacked against Randy Vasquez quite a bit this season. Didn't really work out with us against Washington last week. He actually did decent. Going up against Baltimore, it's always hard to take a pitcher against this Baltimore offense. I'm probably avoiding the offenses in this one, or the pitchers in this one, and going offenses. I think it's pretty even right now. So if you look at San Diego, they've never faced Albert Suarez, but then you dig into the numbers. Now, we are using outlier.bet. So this is the sponsor right here. You can check that out. There's a link in the description. If you use that link and sign up, you go through a 7-day free, you sign up for a monthly pass for $30. You go through a 7-day free trial and pay the $30. We're going to give you a free month of FTA Plus. They do have a pro package that gives you the EV Plus, the boost, the arbitrage, and stuff like that. It's $130 a month. If you sign up with that on our link, we're going to give you 3 months of FTA Plus absolutely free on top of that. So definitely check out outlier.bet. That is who we're using for all of our stuff. So digging in, looking at the batters that hit well for San Diego against right-handed pitching. Campusano with 4 home runs, 288 batting average. Kind of see if he's in there. I don't mind him if he is in there today. Luis Ariz, obviously, stud. You're not going to get a ton of home runs. You're really not going to get a ton of RBIs because he usually leads the game off. But he gives you those positive fantasy points when he gets on base. Another one is Jake Cronenworth, and Manny Machado would be the 5 that I would look at. And you've always got to look at Jackson Merrill. Depending on who's in this lineup, Jackson Merrill, I do not mind him whatsoever. Batting over 300. He's got 8 home runs, 38 RBIs. All of these numbers are great. Ha-Seong Kim's another one with 7 bombs, just a little under at 227. So I do love a San Diego stack today. And then Baltimore bats. We know Baltimore's a prolific hitting team. Haven't seen a ton of Randy Vasquez. No home runs. But then you dig in these pitchers. Now, make sure it is Suarez or Vasquez. But Adley Rutschman, a little bit lower. I don't know. I don't mind him, but only batting 222 against righties. But then you got Gunnar Henderson with 22 bombs, 46 RBIs, 300 batting average. Obviously, he makes sense. Jordan Westberg makes sense. Colton Cowser makes sense, okay? Santander, I love Santander. Big Santander guy, 248 batting average, 22 home runs. Now, Ryan O'Hearn and Cedric Mullins' names are on the trade block for Baltimore. So if you're trying to get them in a lineup, be careful. They could get traded. But I am avoiding the pitching in this one. Going completely with bats here. Then we got the Guardians at the Phillies. You got Joey Cantillo versus Colby Allard. So Cantillo's 4,000. Okay. Game logs expected to be called up. 24 runs, 279, 222. So it's not saying if he's... It's not saying if he's on any sort of pitch count or anything like that. If he's going to go a certain amount of innings. At 4,000, I think you get him in there just because. Now, Philly's a great hitting team. We know this. But at 4,000, you are able to go pretty much anywhere with that. So you got an average 4,400. Or you go down and let's say you choose, for instance, just for S&Gs, go with Spencer Arrighetti. Then you can average 4. Well, why'd that go down? Oh, no, not Crochet. Then if you use Cantillo, then you could average 4,800. So it just really depends on what you go. He is so cheap, but again, Philly, they just put up 8-0 yesterday. Josh Naylor sat for whatever reason, I don't know. But we look at this. Obviously, you got to look at Philly bats. You definitely got to look at Philly bats. But then you got Colby Allard here. I believe he was with Texas before. Where's he at? Why is he up here at 7,800? Recalling him, Ranger Suarez now on the IL. 16 appearances, 10 starts. So he's got the starts, making his debut this year. But he has a 5.23 ERA. I'm probably looking at the bats here. I will look at a little bit at Cantillo because he is 4,000. You've got to. If you make multiple lineups, he's got to be in a couple of them. But then if we're looking at the bats on both sides, David Fry, Steven Kwan, Josh Naylor, Jose Ramirez are the top ones. Then you could look at Joency Noel or Andres Jimenez. I don't mind. It just depends on the lineup that comes up. Angel Martinez, I don't mind either. Obviously, Phillies would be the play here. Real Muto against the lefty, 301 with 3 bombs. Bombs are low. Bryce Harper, lefty on lefty matchup does not matter. Edmundo Sosa would be a cheap option. Trey Turner obviously is an option, 319 batting average there. Austin Hayes, new guy, if he's in there. 323 with 1 bomb against left-handed pitching could be a sneaky option there. Didn't hit very well overall with his limited playing time in Baltimore, but I do not mind a stack there. Alec Boehm did leave the game hurt with, I think, a contusion of some sort. So maybe he is out for rest and we get some value open up there. So, again, Cantillo for tournaments because he's so cheap, but I like a stack. I like a Philly stack more, but I love a Cleveland stack as well. Then you got the Rangers at the Blue Jays. John Gray versus Jose Barrios. So John Gray's in here at 7,500. Splits-wise, he has not faced Toronto this year. On the road, he's got a 4.19 ERA. Game log-wise, he's coming off a great game against White Sox, but the White Sox, they're bad. And then other game, he had great games there, and then it was a while since he had a good game. Over a month since he had a good game. Tournaments I'm okay with because Toronto's iffy, but I'd still rather probably look at Toronto bats in that situation. And then you got Jose Barrios. So you're paying up here, 8,000. Splits-wise, he has not faced Texas this year. Pitching at home's got a 3.18 ERA. He had a couple of good games, but sprinkled in worse games against Tampa Bay, Arizona, and Houston. Cleveland again. Very inconsistent with him with a 4.08 ERA. I'm probably not looking at the pitchers in this one. Probably looking at the bats. I think I like Texas bats a little bit more, but I would still go on the flip side with Toronto as well. Corey Seager at the top of my list here. Jonah Heim, if he's playing today, I don't mind him. Nate Lowe, Wyatt Langford. Those are the ones I'm really looking at. Marcus Semien, if you want to fill out a full Texas stack. And then Toronto bats against John Gray. Justin Turner's batting 393 against him with 2 bombs. If he is in there, I don't mind him. Dalton Varsho, batting 375 with a home run. Those two would be I'd look at. Obviously, Vladdy. Now, Vladdy's name has been thrown out there for possibility of being traded. I don't see it happening, but you never know. If someone, someone overpays, he might get traded. So be cautious here. His name, I can't see Toronto. I cannot see them trading him. I just don't see it. So we're looking at that. Spencer Horwitz would be another one I'd look at if we're looking at a stack. That's probably it. None of the other ones jump out to me right now. Maybe Alejandro Kirk, but probably not. So I'm not taking pitching in this one. I am taking the bats. I am giving the advantage to Texas, but Toronto could hit John Gray just as well. Next game, Twins at the Tigers. You got Bailey Ober versus Alex Faedo. Ober, 260 batting average against them. I believe he just faced them 3 times this year, has 2 wins. Faced them at home with 8 strikeouts there. Then faced them at Detroit, back-to-back starts, 3 strikeouts, 6 strikeouts there. He's got a 4.04 ERA, but he has done decently here, especially at his price. I do not mind Bailey Ober whatsoever here. I will take Bailey Ober. Alex Faedo is going to be the opener. Then we're going to get Kenta Maeda as the long relief. Kenta Maeda just pitched, or he was supposed to pitch the other day. Then he did not. Went to the bullpen. I do not trust him. Obviously, we don't, it's really hard. You're going to get maybe 2 innings out of Faedo. If not, just probably 1. Then Maeda, who knows? I would give the advantage most likely to Minnesota bats here. I don't trust either here. And then Bailey Ober, I would use Bailey Ober. But then you look at like Minnesota bats against them. I don't mind Ryan Jeffers if he's in there, though. Again, he's a catcher, so you never know. Willie Castro's another one I would look at. Royce Lewis being back is definitely one I would look at. Carlos Santana, I don't mind. Maybe Max Kepler or Byron Buxton if we're trying to get a full Minnesota stack. But I do like a Minnesota stack against whomever comes after Maeda, because he's not looked well this year. Maeda, has not looked well, and the opener, we're not really going to do anything with the opener. So, given the advantage here, and, Javi Baez has homered in 3 straight games. I don't know. Maybe he's on that good stuff, so might want to throw him in there. Might want to throw Matt Vierling in there, but I'd rather take Bailey Ober and Minnesota as a stack. Next game. Braves at the Mets, Reynaldo Lopez versus David Peterson. All the Mets fans are like, oh, our ace is back, Kodai Senga is back. And then he went out, started, hurt his calf, and now he's out the regular season. I had a Twitter argument on there. It's like, hey, Mendoza only said the regular season, not the playoffs. I'm like, their season ends when the regular season ends, because they're not going to make the playoffs. They're going to choke. And it starts today with Reynaldo Lopez. I want Reynaldo Lopez, and then I want the Braves bats against David Peterson. Now, David Peterson is questionable. Right? Or no? What was it? No, I was looking at Suarez. David Peterson comes in. Splits-wise, he's not faced Atlanta this year. He had a good game against Washington and a good game against the Yankees, but other than that, he's been kind of mid, as the kids would say. So, personally, I'm looking at the Braves here against the Mets. Just kind of looking. Braves bats against left-handed pitching. Travis d'Arnaud, I love Travis d'Arnaud. We love to use him against lefties. d'Arnaud, 273 batting average there. Marcell Ozuna is batting 359. Only 5 bombs, but batting 359 against lefties. I would look at him. I would look at Adam Duvall. He'd be a cheap Braves option here. Ramon Laureano would be a cheap one if he's in there. I don't know if he will be. It's wild to see Austin Riley only batting 195, which is crazy. Matt Olson, who has struggled, I believe he had a home run on Saturday, or was it Friday? One of them. I would look at Olson a little bit, 269 with 6 bombs or 7 bombs. I would definitely pay attention to him a little bit. I do not trust the Mets. Reynaldo Lopez has just pitched very well this year, so I'm going Lopez and the Braves bats here. Then we got the Cubs at the Royals. This is a pitcher's ballpark. Javier Assad versus Cole Ragans. So we've got Assad coming in, 3.15 ERA. Splits, has not faced Kansas City this year. Game logs, hasn't really done much lately. Hasn't gone deep into games. Has not gone 5 innings since June 17th. Okay. And yeah, his walks, 6 walks in that game against Milwaukee. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. Kansas City's a fantastic hitting team. I would lean towards Cole Ragans, and I would look at Kansas City bats over the Cubs bats. They're just, the offense for the Cubs right now, just not putting up runs. Kansas City bats against right-handed pitching. Obviously, we're looking at Pasquantino. We're looking at Bobby Witt Jr. batting 342. We're looking at Sal Perez batting 276. That's 3 if you're looking for 5. A couple others that are cheap options. Hunter Renfroe, I do not mind him today. As long as the weather, what's going on with the weather, if the wind is blowing out, I love that even more. Now, if you want to see the ballpark factors, you want to see the projected home run totals, you want to see the Ks per game, the runs scored per game, you want to see these charts, check out the Discord link down below, because we post those every morning. Go check it out. It's free Discord as well. So everything in the description, go check all of that out. We also have merch you guys could buy. If you want to buy stickers, that would be awesome. That helps out the channel as well. As like I said, clicking on the ads helps out more than you guys understand. And if anyone is interested in donating or sending a tip, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com. I can give a Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, because YouTube takes like 60%. When you super thanks, it's like 60% goes to YouTube, which whatever, it's whatever, but It's not going towards. I had someone do $20, and then I got it, and I was like, it was like, what is this number? And then I realized how much they actually take. So if you guys want to help the channel out, I completely understand. Would be awesome. Awesome to do. Not expected. Very much enjoy it when it happens, though. So that being said, I'm looking at Cole Reagans. I'm looking at the Royals. I don't want Assad, and I really don't want anyone for the Cubs today. Then you got the Dodgers at the Astros. Neither of these pitchers have faced each other before. And Shohei Ohtani hit a ball that I don't know if it's landed yet. He hit a decent ball. River Ryan versus Spencer Arrighetti here. River Ryan, the river runs through it. Somehow he is up here at 7,700. Does have a 0 ERA. Only one start, 5.1 innings. Okay, that's great. But he's going up against Houston. I cannot use him. The way Houston's hitting right now, I cannot use him. Arrighetti, 5.65 ERA. He has not faced the Dodgers this year. You know, he really hasn't done a ton here. And the Dodgers are one of those teams that's like, what are we going to get out of them? So we kind of look at that. I don't know if I trust either of these pitchers. I think I'd rather just go with the bats in this situation. I think. Looking at those bats, the Dodgers bats against Spencer Arrighetti, never faced him before, like we said. And using Outlier, you can check out like all these different websites, all dropped into one right here, looking at insights, popular bets, games that we're digging into, props that show up. They aggregate all of them into one easy site. Again, it's outlier.bet. So we look at, right-handed pitching. Which Dodgers bats hit right-handed pitching well? Freddie Freeman, 312 batting average, 11 bombs. Teoscar Hernandez has double-digit home runs. Shohei batting 329 with 24 bombs. Get me those three right there. Then it just depends on the lineup that they come out. Will Smith, if he's in there, it is a Sunday. I would love some Will Smith. I don't mind Gavin Lux either. So you could look at all of those guys. I do like a Dodger stack there. And then a Houston stack. Yanir Diaz, if he's in there, 293 batting average. Alex Bregman, 271. Yordan, only batting 273, but 15 bombs against right-handed pitching. Those would be ones. And I think a value option, either Trey Cabbage, Mauricio Dubon, or Joey Loperfido, if they are in there, would get you a sneaky little Houston stack going up against River Ryan today, or the bullpen, depending on when the game, how long River Ryan goes. Then we got the next game, Mariners at the White Sox. But before that, we've got the keyword of the day is our sponsor, Outlier. Outlier, Outlier, Outlier. That is the keyword. We do have Bryce Miller versus Garrett Crochet. I love both of these pitchers. We used Garrett Crochet his last time. He's got the number one matchup here for strikeouts. The problem is the weather might be raining. So definitely pay attention. We got the little rain concern as of now. He is the most expensive, but I absolutely love him here. Last time he pitched against them, I think he had 14 strikeouts? 13 strikeouts. One game, didn't get the W, 7 innings, 13 Ks, 37.4 fantasy points, which is an amazing number for DraftKings. Now, he's going up against Seattle. Seattle's the team that strikes out the most. His name, though, so two concerns. Weather might be a concern in this game, and his name has been floated about being traded. We're getting close to the trade deadline. This is something to look at. I don't see him starting the game and getting traded mid-game and then pulling him. So if it happens, I feel like it's either going to happen before the game or after the game. But I love him today. He's the picture of the video and the article for a reason. I would not be surprised. Look up his prop bets. 10 plus strikeouts. Would not surprise me. If you can find that line somewhere, would not be surprised. If you want to go, to buy down a little bit, 8 plus, I think feels pretty consistent. 7, 4, 5. So his strikeouts have been lower lately. That's the only problem. Like you see double digits here, double digit there, double digit there, but the lower here. Again, though, Seattle strikes out a ton. Would not concern me whatsoever. Then you got Bryce Miller. Chicago's a bad team. Splits-wise, he's already faced them once this year. 7 innings, 8 strikeouts. I love him as well. If you want to look... Okay. Tell me that doesn't look like Morgan Wallen. Give me a second. All right. Bryce Miller, Morgan Wallen. Morgan Waller, Bryce Miller. Morgan Wallen, Bryce Miller? Never seen him in the same room together. Right? Not that hair. That's gross. I don't know what that's going on. I mean, it's not the mustache. It's the entire face. It's not that hair. Get rid of that hair. That's him. That's him right there. Exactly. Never seen him in the same place at the same time. You're not going to convince me it's not him. Throwing fastballs and not throwing chairs off roofs. Same person. I like Bryce Miller here. I'm not really looking at either offense. I'm looking at both pitchers. Garrett Crochet, number 1. Bryce Miller right behind him at number 2 in this game. Then you got the Marlins at the Brewers. You got Kyle Taylor versus Tobias Myers. So Taylor comes in. We've got him here. Where's he at? Kyle Tyler down here. 3.92 ERA. The problem, though, the innings aren't really there. Going up against Milwaukee, I'm probably not using him. And then you got Tobias Myers here. Game logs. Middle game here, really good game against Pittsburgh. At Colorado, Chicago hasn't done much. He has faced Miami once this year, only went 1 inning for whatever reason. Probably not looking at the pitching in this one. There are just other games you can play on this main slate. I don't think we have to go pitching. But if you want to go Miami bats, now again, trade deadline, Miami are sellers. We could see De La Cruz leaving, Jesus Sanchez leaving, Jake Berger, Josh Bell. These are all the guys I would use today. You go Sanchez a little bit if you want to, or Nick Fortes. I do not mind. Otto Lopez is another one. Cautious. Be very cautious. We could see them selling some of their team or trading their team. So be careful on that. Milwaukee bats against right-handed pitching. Willie Adames batting 259 I would look at. Joey Ortiz, Bryce Terang, Jackson Churio. I don't mind. I think people are going to be on William Contreras, which makes sense. Gary Sanchez is off the IL. 314 batting average you could see. But I think a sneaky one today, Sal Frelick. I think Sal Frelick could be a sneaky option that not a lot of people are going to be on here against Tyler, and depending on how long Tyler goes into the game. So be cautious with Milwaukee or with Miami batters, but I do not mind a stack of Milwaukee today. Then we got the Nats at the Cardinals. You got DJ Hurst versus Miles Mikolas. So DJ Hurst, 7,800, 4.95 ERA. Splits-wise, already faced St. Louis once this year. Got hit kind of hard. Really hasn't done much against other teams. So I'm off of Hurst. But then we look at St. Louis. We look at Mikolas here. 5.02 ERA. Splits 8.8. Not looking ideal. Did have a good game against them, though. 6.1 innings, 6 hits allowed, but only 3 Ks. The strikeouts were low. I don't think I want either of them. I think I'd rather look, but I think weather might be a concern. Yeah, weather is a concern here in St. Louis today, so that's definitely something we need to look at. But we can look at what we've got going on in the game if we're looking at pitcher or batters. So Washington bats against Mikolas. C.J. Abrams has a home run against him. Jesse Winker has 2 home runs against him. Those would be my top 2. Then we'd look at a Luis Garcia batting 290 against righties. Riley Adams, I don't mind. Trey Lipscomb, I don't mind either. And James Wood, I'm okay with. I don't love James Wood in this situation. Then St. Louis bats against Hurst. No home runs, but against left-handers. Wilson Contreras, now, he did just hit a home run on Saturday night. I don't know if he'll play today. This is, again, catcher might not play because it is a Sunday, so that's something to look at. But I would look at him. I would look at Alec Burleson a little bit. I would look at Dylan Carlson against the lefty. I do not mind him. Goldie batting 289. I do not mind him either. So I'm not using either pitcher. I like the Cardinals as a stack a little bit better, but I think Washington could be a stack we look at as well. And there you have it. That is the main slate. All 10 games on the main slate covered. Now we've got 3 games in the afternoon. Weather should be good here. Rockies at the Giants, Austin Gomber versus Jordan Hicks. Give me Jordan Hicks and give me San Francisco bats. Gomber's down here at 6,500. Splits-wise, he has not faced San Francisco this year. Hasn't done much. Has a 4.70 ERA. That is why we used Blake Snell yesterday. I loved Blake Snell yesterday. Blake Snell recorded 18 outs. 15 of those outs were strikeouts. They pulled him early, got a no decision. I could see Blake Snell getting traded. Now, we know he waited long, then signed with San Francisco. Everyone thought he'd go to the Yankees. Struggled, pitching very well. It would not surprise me if somehow the Yankees pull off a trade for him. They'd have to give up probably Spencer Jones and a couple of others. But Blake Snell is there. His trade stock is up right now. But I love San Francisco as a stack here. I don't want Colorado. I would look at San Francisco bats against Gomber. You've got Jorge Soler against the lefty, and he's got 2 home runs against him. He's my number one. I would also look at Matt Chapman against the lefty. We always take Matt Chapman against lefties. Casey Schmidt, batting 364, only 11 at-bats, but has a home run. Tyler Fitzgerald has been one of the hottest hitters in baseball. Still relatively unknown, relatively underutilized ownership-wise. And then Elliot Ramos, batting 431 with 7 bombs against left-handed pitching. Those would be the ones that I'd look at right here. I do love a San Francisco stack in this 3-game afternoon slate. Then we got Oakland versus the Angels. Osvaldo Bido versus Jose Soriano. Not going to lie, I don't love... Bido did have a good start against Houston, 5 innings, 6 Ks. He's already faced at LA twice this year. The problem is he's only gone 1 inning in both of those games. You don't know what he's going to do. You honestly don't. I mean, they did stretch him out to 70 pitches against the Astros, so you could look at him. Hasn't done much here, though. Scares me a little bit. I don't know if I trust him. Tournaments I'm okay with, but again, he could easily just not go... could easily just not go deep into this game either, and then we're kind of screwed. And then you've got Jose Soriano. Splits-wise, he's faced Oakland once this year, did give up 4 earned runs, 4 strikeouts, didn't do enough there. That was in Oakland, which is a pitcher's park. I'm off of him. Bats-wise, I mean, they don't really jump out to me, but we could take a little gander, I suppose. If you're looking at batters against him, Shea Langeliers, 3 for 4 with a home run. I don't mind him. Lawrence Butler, 333 batting average, 1 home run. Brent Rooker, 333. Now, for whatever reason, Oakland is reluctant to trade Brent Rooker. They are trade candidates to trade people because it is Oakland. So you kind of look at that. Some of these guys could be traded. Just pay attention here. So Langeliers or Kyle McCann, I don't mind. Max Schumann, I don't mind. Lawrence Butler and Brent Rooker, I would look at as a stack there. Then the Angels against Bido. I mean, Logan O'Hoppe batting 303. Nolan Schanuel, Mickey Moniak. I don't love an Angel stack. The only one that I even feel comfortable with is Logan O'Hoppe, if I'm even looking at that as a stack. Then the final game of the afternoon slate, the final game we're going to cover today, the Pirates at the Diamondbacks. You got Mitch Keller versus Yolbert Diaz. Keller, 334 batting average, 334 ERA with 108 Ks. Home games, 10 starts. On the road, 10 starts. Splits, though, on the road, a 404 ERA. Gets hit hard on the road, has not faced Arizona this year. And then on the flip side of that, Yolbert Diaz going up against Pittsburgh, 540 ERA. 3 innings his last start against Kansas City, gave up 7 earned runs. Again, though, Kansas City's a good team. They're way better than Pittsburgh. Splits-wise, you can see, these numbers are skewed. Tournaments, I'm okay with Diaz, but that's basically it. Looking at the bats, the Arizona bats are the ones I would go with. Against Keller, Ketel Marte batting 444 with a home run. But against right-handed pitching, Ketel Marte is one. Jock Peterson I would use. Kevin Newman would be a cheap option in a stack if he is there. Don't know if he will be. I mean, Corbin Carroll maybe. Again, though, I don't know. Not a ton to love here. Alec Thomas, if he's in there, maybe a cheap option there because everyone's going to be on Ketel Marte, Corbin Carroll. You got Christian Walker with 19 bombs and 252 batting average. I don't mind him either. But I'm not looking at Pittsburgh bats. I'm really not looking at Gilbert Diaz today either. And then you got the Sunday Night Baseball game between the Yankees and the Red Sox. Who knows what's going to happen there? The ton of runs put up on Saturday. Yankees came out victorious. I think there was 27 runs. 27 runs, I think, or 29 runs. Or not runs, 29 hits in that game. 19 runs. Don't think it's going to happen again. It could, though. You never know. Both of these pitching, we don't know what we're going to get there. A lot of home runs to start the game, and then just back and forth the entire game. So there you have it. That is the breakdown of every game on the main slate and the afternoon slate. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. Now we're going to do Pitches Be Crazy real quick. And we've talked about all of these guys. But number 1 is Garrett Crochet going up against Seattle. Number 2 is Carlos Rodon at Boston. 3 is Jordan Hicks versus Colorado. 4, Jose Soriano. And 5 is Gilbert Diaz versus Pittsburgh. Now, those aren't the only ones, but those are the top ones against teams that strike out the most. Actually, Tampa Bay, the Reds actually snuck into the top 5, but we don't know who Tampa Bay is going to be pitching yet, so it's very hard to put that person. But if Tampa Bay throws someone out there that is an actual starter and not like an opener and not like a bullpen guy, I would look at throwing him in there against the Reds for a whatever the prop bet would be, depending on when. Hopefully it comes out earlier than not here. So that is the Pitches Be Crazy. That is done. The breakdown is done. And now what you're waiting for, all of the bats that have a 10 out of 10 matchup rating through the early simulations. There's a ton on this list compared to the past week or so. So get ready. Here we go. Number 1 is Aaron Judge, who's been on fire this series and this year. Number 2 is Gunnar Henderson. 3, Adley Rutschman. 4, Juan Soto. 5, Ryan O'Hearn. 6, Jurickson Profar. 7, Marcus Semien. 8, Gleyber Torres. 9, Jake Cronenworth. 10, Corey Seager. 11, Luis Arraez. 12, Marcell Ozuna. 13, Danny Jansen. 14, Yordan Alvarez. 15, Elliot Ramos. 16, Spencer Horwitz. 17, Colton Cowser. 18, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 19, Chris Bryant. 20, Hassan Kim. 21, Ryan McMahon. 22, Austin Riley. 23, Patrick Bailey. And 24, Jacob Stallings. Now, if you just look at like the top 10, it loves a Yankee stack today. It loves a Baltimore stack today. It also very much enjoys a San Diego Padres stack. I don't mind those either. Those are great stacks. You obviously can't really stack the Yankees here because the game is the Sunday Night Baseball game. So if you're playing like a showdown, captain spot showdown, you could definitely check that out. So that's what I've got in this video. Thank you guys so much for checking this video out. I am very tired that we are a 9-day-old child sometimes sleeps through the night, not through the night, but sometimes sleeps 3 or 4 hours to get fed, and sometimes he cries about every hour to hour and a half and wants to be fed. So I get naps in there. I do all of this for you guys. I get the website out, I get it all going, and then lately I've been taking a nap, so I have not been answering questions on Discord like I am used to doing. So again, I apologize. I think you guys understand. But yeah, so that's what I've got. We will be back Monday with even more content for you. So we're inching closer to NFL. We are going to start pushing out some NFL content as well. So that's what I've got in this video. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace.